It's about to go down.
You are listening to WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com and hosted by
You are listening to the incredible
Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
This is Nova Phoenix, and you have tuned into WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio with, of course, my host, LK Mason. I will not forget her this time. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see when you stay tuned in. But for this show, we have a special interview with a guest on the phone zone, or in let me say in the phone zone. We are dialed in and we having fun. But before we get to that, we're gonna get into this song from Naomi Cohen. It's one of the artists we played on the show before. Her song was Paradise Plum. She has now created a video for this beautiful song, and I'm loving it, and I want you guys to see it. You probably seen it already on YouTube on her channel, but in case you didn't, you can see it right here on GCOM Radio on our Lyfeblood.com channel. Tune in, y'all. Tune in. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. So enjoy the video, or if you're just listening to the SoundCloud version, just enjoy the song once again, and then we are getting into our special guest in the phone zone. So thank you for tuning in. Check this out.
You never put up a fight, no. Paradise. Just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not your shown. Silence, you never put up a fight, no. Paradise. Just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not your shown. Silence. We're spending time on the regular. We'll pass the days when you just call me on my cellular. If I'm the book, then you're the editor. Cause you know we always bringing out the best in us. It's not a rushing, man. Even though you cuss me cause I stress you, I'm not noting, man. It's just a trusting, man. Doing life together, got each other, I'm not noting. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, you, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence. Remember when you did that check for me, and buy me sweetie down a halfway tree. You said Paradise Plum, who you are run from. I give you my love, boy. He's not a rushing man. Even though you cuss me cause I stress you, I'm not noting, man. It's just a trusting man. Doing life together, got each other. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, you. I don't wanna fight. You never put up a fight, no. I don't wanna fight. You just know me like we knew, we never say your word, not to sound. Silence, telling you the truth, got nothing left for proof. And if you leave it up to me, you know we'll make it. I've opened up to you, oh boy, what can I do? I wanna know if it's true, woo, 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 woo. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, you, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, you never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, you, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew, we never had to say your word, not a sound.
Hello.
You're in the phone zone with Nova Phoenix and LK Mason on GCOM Radio.
We have started another show. We have a special guest on, of course, and it's a man that has made history in radio and continues to influence many souls in and out of entertainment. As part of the Hot 97 Ebro in the Morning Show, of course, with Ebro, Rosenberg, and Laura Styles, we're going to get into who this man is and what he's got planned for the world. His name is Shani Kulture. What's up, my brother?
Yes. What's going on? I'm good,
all right,
bro. I'm good.
All right, that's what. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, of course. You know, again, let me tell you something. LK always blasts me because every time I get into the role, she said, you didn't introduce me because that's how, I know how you are.
Yeah, man, you got to get the intros right, bro. Represent everybody.
I got to get the intros right. I got to introduce everybody, of course.
I told him. I tell him he's self-centered. That's what it is.
Self-centered all the way.
You're too selfish, man. You're too selfish. You're selfish, old boy.
Out LK Mason, the co-host on the show. What's up, LK?
What's up, y'all?
Okay. What's up?
That's what's going on. That's what up. So, let's just get into the role with you, man. So, place of birth, man. Where were you born?
I was born in Queens. My mother is from Trinidad. She, in my family, we that United States birth certificate is very important, so you can go to college and get some freedoms and liberties. So she came over, and a few of my aunts did the same thing, came over around the time that they were pregnant, towards the latter months, and, had us and then brought us back to Trinidad. So I came back maybe around 6 or 7, and then went back and forth to Trinidad and Queens, and then predominantly Queens.
Okay, cool. And how'd you come up in the game?
In the music game, big question. Well, the music game, I'm an artist. My family are musicians and dancers, and just really heavily involved in the arts. So I grew up around music, around saxophone players, and my sisters are dancers and all that other stuff. So I got into hip hop early. I grew up in Hollis, Queens. So Hollis, Queens, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Fubu, Ja Rule, Russell Simmons, all this good stuff was right around the corner from me. So my sister, actually, she was a rapper, local rapper in the cypher, beatboxing and all this other stuff. So she used to rap a lot and be in the house. She had a little group. They used to always have me beatboxing. So just always having a beatbox for her and her friends, I kind of knew her songs, by heart, just because, out of default. And once I got to junior high school, I noticed there were a lot of kids doing the same thing. So I was like, I got bars. I could rap too. I couldn't, but I knew hers, so I was like, I'm gonna recite hers, but I didn't want them to know that it was my sister's rap, so I said, this is my big brother's rap. And I would get into the cypher, and I just got a lot of attention after that, because her content clearly was older than mine. She's like 5 years older than me, so it was high school content. But as you know, with hip hop, delivery is important, as we see with Cardi B. So even if you didn't write your stuff, if you delivered it well, that was half the game of being a rapper. So I just developed a love for it, and then started to pursue it when I got older, and really entered the industry by the radio industry by default, because I was trying to figure out how I can get a record deal. So I had a band. We used to tour, up and down the East Coast, different colleges, some parts of Europe, things like that. And I was like, all right, well, how do I get in the game? Now my mother, she's a teacher or retired now. So her thing was all about, you need to get a degree. All this rap stuff ain't gonna do nothing for you. But when she saw that I had a true passion for it, and she knew that she was also surrounded, her mother was a concert pianist, you know, used to teach all the kids in the neighborhood, you know, big concerts at Carnegie Hall. You know, I had 3 baby grand pianos in the house, but it was always music. She said, all right, I see this look in your eyes, and it's very familiar. It looks like my mother whenever she used to burn the food for dinner time, you know, because she was so possessed by the music. She would be writing music, put the food on the stove, and forget about it because she was in a trance, trying to create. So she was like, I know that look, you know. She said, if you're gonna do this, you have to promise me that you're gonna make money, because, you know, most of the most talented people are starving artists. You know, most of the people who, you know, have the most amount of talent don't know how to handle business. So if you're gonna do it, just figure out a way to get money. So that was my pursuit, and like, all right, so let me get a record deal. That'll be, you know, my degree, you know, and I can get into the game and make money at something that I'm passionate about. So I try to figure out, how do I get close to the game? And it was either I'm gonna get a job at a radio station so that these DJs can play my music, or I'm gonna get a job at a record label so that I can get a deal. And it just so happened I got a job at a radio station.
Wow. So you just submitted your resume and then boom?
Yeah, well,
I
used to do a lot of stuff in it. Well, I used to do a lot of stuff in the underground too, you know. When we were performing, I also organized showcases and, you know, MC battles and all these different things around New York City. So I just saw somebody on the street team, you know, doing something one day with the big street team truck, and I approached them and said, you know, how do I get a job? And the dude gave me the phone numbers, and, you know, MS Communications, which is the parent company of Hot 97.
Right.
At the time had Kiss FM, Hot 97, and CD 101.9. So they gave me the manager's number for each of the street team, and I tried to give a Hot 97, but they didn't want me. So I got CD 101.9, and they put me on. At the time, I had, you know, super Bob Marley dreadlocks and, you know, all this other stuff. So people was like, you don't even belong here. What are you doing on this side of the building?
CD 101.9?
Yeah, I know. That was when, you know, all the grown folks had these jazz concerts in Central Park and these boat cruises with, like, Freddie Jackson and stuff. So I did what I had to do, you know. And I got in the building, and I did my thing, and I was on and off, you know, still working part-time jobs and still working with them too. And at some point, I was doing these huge MC battles, and I guess somebody from the radio station attended one of the battles, you know, and I didn't know that. So then they wanted to do a huge MC battle on the Summer Jam stage. And I guess in one of the meetings, they was like, there's this guy who works here who does these huge underground MC battles. Maybe we can have him host it. So they recruited me. I got a phone call from somebody. And it was like, all right, look, this is what we want to do. Can you handle it? And I was like, hell yeah. You know, just put me on. You know what I'm saying? What? Let's do it. So, you know, I went up there and did this huge battle. Heineken sponsored it, and the winner was going to go to Jamaica, and I had 12 MCs on the Summer Jam stage, and 6 were from New Jersey, 6 were from New York City, and it was just explosive. You know, I had the whole crowd yelling for one artist, whole crowd yelling for the other. Who's going to win? Is it going to be New York or Jersey? Da-da-da-da-da. And it got the station like $500,000. So at that point, my name had, you know, started to resonate in the station, which kind of gave me a little bit of clout. And 2 months later, they called me up and said, do you want a full-time job doing a morning show?
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay.
I said, I didn't even know who was on the morning show. You know, I'm nocturnal by nature. So I never listened. But I was like, yeah, I'll do the morning show. You know, let's go. You know, and at the time, Miss Jones was doing the morning show.
Right.
So they pulled me in, and it was crazy. I had never done engineering, boards, no technology. That was not my thing. But they wanted me to do it, so I figured I'm gonna learn. And I learned live on air in front of, you know, probably 1 million viewers every single morning, pushing the wrong buttons, hitting songs when we're supposed to go you know, hitting songs when we're supposed to go to commercials, hitting commercials when we're supposed to go to a song. You know, it was bad. It was bad.
Let me tell you, they say two things. One, fake it till you make it. And number two, if you don't know how to do something, don't worry about it. Go in with it head first, and you'll figure it out on the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I did. So I went in there and I struggled, but and it was hectic. I think, you know, the first couple of days, I was like, I'm not gonna last a week. You know, this is not happening. This is not my thing. And I didn't see it really lasting, but you know, the program director talked to me. They really wanted me involved, and you know, it's been 10 years now. You know,
and now you're here.
10 years, and now we here, bro.
Yeah. So my thing is,
and the journey began.
And the journey begins. And being that you were in it for so long, and hip hop is, you know, it's fully, I wouldn't say fully mature, but yeah, it's fully matured. I mean, what do you think was the greatest change to benefit the art form?
To benefit hip hop, the change in hip hop.
Right.
The greatest change to benefit hip hop. There's so many things. You know. I mean, with technology, you know, advancing the way it has, computers and the internet has been a major factor now, you know, for hip hop, where this is an art form that originated in the streets and was a voice of the streets.
Right.
You know, it's now become a platform where kids in Minnesota who have a computer in front of them are able to articulate their expression and put it to music and become hip hop stars. You know, that's huge. You know, so I think that in itself has created a major difference in the advancement of hip hop and how it's spread worldwide too. It's gotten to every household, you know, even faster in the last few years. So,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me back up a tape here. Get my big head out the way. For my girl LK, because I know she got a question that I want to, you know what I mean? LK, you got a question you had?
Yeah, he pretty much answered it though, but I'm going to, you know, ask it anyway so that we have a little bit of clarity. I was going to ask you, when did you fall in love with hip hop? But it sounded like your story of when you were, you know, kind of biting your sister's rhymes. But I'm gonna let you tell.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely was the beginning of the passion, you know.
Okay.
I mean, my I'm the youngest of my mother's 5, right? So, and the oldest sibling above me is 11 years older than me. So, you know, that's a significant difference that allowed a certain amount of music into the house that, had I been the oldest, maybe I still would have been listening to Romper Room, you know. But because I'm, let's say, 9 and she's 20, you know what I mean?
Right.
She's going to be playing a different type of music in the house that come with teenagers, and below her, the next one is a year under her, and the next one is a year under her. So, you know, you have 20, 19, and 18 in the house. So there's a very adult atmosphere for a 9-year-old to be around. So their musical influences, I'm listening to, you know, everything that they're listening to. I'm walking in the room, there's no censorship on the music.
Right.
You know, they're just gonna listen to it raw. They're watching, you know, Friday the 13th, you know, movies from Blockbuster. You know, I walk in the room, they wasn't telling me to leave, so I'm exposed to all types of craziness.
Right.
You know, it allowed me to see, you know, certain things, hip-hop movies, and, you know, listen to hip-hop songs at a very early age. If they were sitting on the porch with their friends, you know, I could come outside and just kind of hide and sit with them, you know, and absorb, you know, some of what they're doing. And the hip-hop trends were heavy, and the influence was heavy. So to me, it was just like a thing that you did, you know, it was a part of life. And like I said, Hollis, Queens being a major influence on hip-hop in general, growing up in that town, it was, you know, it was serious. Also, I had moved to I moved to Long Island for about 2 years in my senior year of high school. And leaving a town like Hollis that had so much hip-hop influence and moving to Uniondale, Uniondale, Long Island, right around the time when Leaders of the New School, Busta Rhymes was a heavy influence on hip-hop too. It was like I moved from one hip-hop town to the next, and was in like art class and science class with Busta Rhymes' little brother. And he was always like, that's my big brother. You get on my nerves. He think he all that, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to take the garbage out no more. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, the influence was so close to my fingertips, and the reality of, these are people that just come from where I come from that have done something different with their life. It didn't seem far-fetched and unattainable. You know what I mean? Okay. It was just like all around me, so it seemed like something that I could pursue.
Okay, so now you're fully in this vibe. You're fully in this vibe with the radio thing. Now switching over to TV. Now, if given a chance, would you do Love and Hip Hop? Because I know how y'all go. If given a chance, keep it 100. If they say, "Hey, we want Shani Kulture on the show," what would you do?
You want me to get in a fight on television and throw bottles and stuff? That's really what y'all want me to do?
It ain't got to be you. I'm just saying, what would Shani Kulture do to, you know what I mean?
You want me in between two women trying to break up a fight?
Hey.
Well, I try not to get in a position where I compromise my soul and what I stand for. I'm down with a big check for sure. But I would try to see if there's a way that I can manipulate my position to be away from that type of confusion and still be a part of it so I can get the exposure and the money. Right. So I'm not going to say no, but there would be some conversation to see if maybe we can create an angle that represents culture.
They'll say whatever they're going to say to get Shani Kulture on if it was there. And the next thing you know, when you're recording, they throwing a left person. Like, you know what I mean? Cheating on somebody, you got to fight somebody, you know what I mean?
Look, we just going to throw this bottle. You could duck. You know what I mean?
What Shani's reaction is going to be.
Like, see what you're going to do. Look, you never know. I wouldn't say no, because the exposure is good, and it does create a platform for you to advance yourself in other ways, to do what you got to do in terms of your ultimate goal. So, possibly, but it would really have to make sense for me.
We're going to do a reality TV show. It may not be Love and Hip Hop, probably something under another name, right? Where you have more control over it. Actually,
on a similar note, there's a show that we're creating right now called the Mix Up. So the Mix Up is more based on Caribbean culture. It's a show that we're in the process of recording right now. And it has, politics, fashion, music, food. We've already traveled to a few different places. So we set it off in June where we flew to South Africa and we exposed a lot of stuff going on with apartheid. We were there for Youth Day, which was the day that apartheid ended, the beginning of the end, and did a huge celebration there with the president of South Africa. Also, we sat down with Ndaba Mandela, which is Mandela's grandson, and got to talk with him about politics, as well as exposing different fashion and music artists and concerts and stuff like that in South Africa. We've also filmed some of that piece from the Labor Day Parade in Brooklyn, exposing the culture over there. The top of November, we're going to be flying down to Haiti to just expose some culture over there, be a part of the Uber Soca cruise. So it's kind of like a reality.
When is this going to come together? When is it dropping?
The first episode, I believe, in editing and all that stuff, that's on them. But it's supposed to set off in the winter. I would say the latest, the top of 2019.
Nice.
So that's kind of like a reality TV show entertainment, because a lot of the behind the scenes footage of us trying to figure out how to get the next interview, or who's missing, or where we gonna go now, or something happened. There's some like internal drama that leads to each piece, you know, that allows for kind of like somebody playing some music over there. But it allows for a little intensity, and then the payoff is, you know, actually getting the interview, or actually getting the fashion artist or the music artist, you know, to sit down with us. So, you know, there may be some TV in the near future, brother.
Okay. Hey. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna listen to as far as the first segment, we're gonna get into King Spills out of BKNY, Brooklyn. The name of his song is Price of Fame. Listen up, y'all.
This is serious, people.
Hear it right here.
Now this the type of song you put on replay.
Nothing but the exclusive.
That's not exclusive right here.
On GCOM Radio.
You got talent, take the oath, the contract, and the sacrifice, just to watch your soul burn in the afterlife. Hollywood, you get blinded by the flashing lights. Buckle up and pray to God you don't crash tonight. Illuminati and all these secret societies be trying to keep their eye on me. Do I have to sell my soul to get it no cost? To find out what awaits behind the closed doors? Preach the devil, Rick Ross for the Rolls Royce. The root of evil when I listen to my own voice. I want the money, but it seems I gotta die to shine. God forbid I gotta sacrifice a child of mine. They say the flow is pretty deep, I got the wildest rhymes. Fast with it, quick delivery, Papa John's. Daydreaming got me on the grind half the time. Independent, so I'm thinking, do I have to sign? They trying to get me for my mind, soul, and my body. But I'm thinking I'ma do it, what's the price of fame? How to sacrifice everything, real shit. The industry's a mystery and life is strange. It's like the Matrix with the blue and that red pill. Stay tripping, got voices in my head still. I'm only getting older, running out of time. Shed blood, then I sign on the dotted line. I wonder why I'm the guy they try to crucify. Made a deal with the devil, now the booth is hot. My mama screaming, you're a Christian, boy, you forgot. These higher powers got me riding in the newest drop. Listening to me against the world, I used to root for pop. Intellectual, homie really knew a lot. I ain't in the mood to die, but I need a change of view. When that money start coming, it replaces you. I done lost a lot of people, I can name a few. I'm in the vestibule, watching how the strangers move. And I swear I never came into this game to lose. Crazy how I gotta hear lies just to say the truth. All these niggas look shaky and the game is loose. Lost focus, don't remember what I came to do. Caught up in the limelight and a cloud of smoke. Knowing what I've been through and where I'm trying to go. They trying to get me for my mind, soul, and my body. But I'm thinking I'ma do it, what's the price of fame? How to sacrifice everything, real shit. The industry's a mystery and life is strange. It's like the Matrix with the blue and that red pill. Stay tripping, got voices in my head still. I'm only getting older, running out of time. Shed blood, then I sign on the dotted line.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Okay, we are back. We just heard King Spills, Price of Fame, man. King Spills, he's been grinding out a long time. His brother got some heat. Fully support what he's got coming on. Brooklyn is always on top of things. But we are back also with Shani Kulture from Hot 97, Ebro in the Morning, man. He gave us a lot of background on who he is. And the next question for you, sir, is even though artists should have their artistic freedom, and as we all know with Tekashi 6ix9ine and all these other artists, is there a line that shouldn't be crossed? Do you think that sometimes they just go too far?
In terms of artistic freedom, I mean, as an artist, you know, do what you want to do in terms of expressing yourself and, you know, being free with how you want to, you know, be recognized as an artist. But, you know, the line that they cross, you know, in terms of commercial hip-hop, man, I don't know, you know. There was a lot of controversy, you know, recently with an MC battle that took place. Actually, I think it was Pusha T and Drake. And Pusha T basically said something that they thought was too personal in this battle, and they felt like that was crossing the line. You know,
roasted him.
Yeah, I think that you know, when it comes to battle, again, this is an art form that came from the street. So, you know, there's no holds barred when it comes to a battle in hip hop. You say what you want to say.
You don't write press releases when you respond in a battle. There's no press releases.
No press releases. You come with the heat. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want that smoke, come with that smoke. Otherwise, don't enter. You know, there's no rules to this. If you're not built for it, you know, just back up from it.
Your PR person is not your wingman. It's just
and I think that's some of the stuff that has diluted, you know, some of the essence of hip hop, you know, from what I know it to be. You know, where now publicists are getting involved in MC battles. You know, you don't have to write your own lyrics. Freestyles are not freestyles anymore. You know, mixtapes are not mixtapes anymore. Mixtape is on SoundCloud. It's a collage of songs, you know. So, you know, there's just different elements that, you know, is pushed to, and you know, it's important that we evolve with it if that's where it's going. But I guess as artists, you know, everybody's free to do their own thing as long as it's approved by popular opinion. This is the day and age we're in now. Look at your boy Donald Trump.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
If it's approved by popular opinion, you know, which he has a huge tribe that follows him, then it becomes okay. You know,
if it's tweeted, it's real, and he tweeting nonsense every day.
Let me just piggyback off of that since you brought up Trump. One of my questions was, do you think celebrities should shut up and dribble, or shut up and act, or shut up and do whatever it is that they do for a living, or is it okay for them to speak on politics?
Shut up and dribble. Now I'm playing. You know, I mean, you know, I'm all about everybody expressing themselves and you know, do what you want to do at your own risk. You know what I mean? But if a celebrity wants to tap into, you know, where society is going, or they want to speak on politics and things of that nature, you know, that's fine to give an opinion. You know, if you want to be more proactive behind your opinion and put action behind the words, then, you know, do so wholeheartedly and put 100% behind it so that you can actually create some change. You know, in terms of Trump, you know, this dude, I don't even know. It's amazing to see how this whole thing has even taken place. How he's come up. Yeah, it's amazing to see.
The great snake oil salesman, and I don't know how he pulls the wool over people's eyes and continues to think, or continues to go along with his plan, and people just fall for it hook, line, and sinker. That just gets me, and that's right and left. That's right and left. I mean,
it lets you know that a lot of people are thinking how he's thinking. You know, and whether he ultimately thinks like that or not, he's manipulating the public because he knows that this is the way that, you know, a large part of America think.
Right.
So,
American conditioned.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to play on that. He knows that people didn't really like a black president. You know, there was a large part of society that was upset with that. He wasn't, you know, comfortable with a black president. He harassed him the whole time he was in office.
He sure did.
Trying to get a birth certificate out of him. You know, and then came back and won, you know, and unfortunately, I believe he's going to win again, you know. So
don't put that in the universe, man.
I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to, but I've yet to see an opponent stand up yet. You know, Trump has been campaigning since he got in office.
Right.
Yeah, he's still campaigning.
You need. I wouldn't say a bully. You need someone that's on the direct opposite of him, that has that same. I don't say that same marketing flair, but that same, you know, chest beating, but more so from the opposite side. And I'm not coming from, because I hate saying right and left, but more so with that, you know, beat my chest, yo, move out the way. This is what we're gonna do. And in terms of Republicans and Democrats are not playing that. They're playing the same status quo, you know, just tighten up the tie and, you know, fix your jacket. And to me, that's not what it is. You got to go in swinging. It's like in boxing, right? The same way we got to keep pace with your opponent. right? When he's slow, then you go your pace. But when he picks up, you got to pick up. And I haven't seen any Democrats that can match that. And I feel in that way that's how they're going to lose.
But I mean, he's put himself in a position where he made it seem like everything that people thought was real is fake. You know, the news is fake. You can't trust the media.
Right.
And he's non-political, you know, so all of this political mojo or humble, whatever they call it, nonsense, he's acting like, you know, I'm not a part of that. I don't do speeches the way they do speeches. I'm a regular guy. I'm for my people, and people are buying it, you know.
Right.
They're eating it up, you know, so you need somebody who kind of has the same, like you said, savoir-faire, you know, that feels very real to the people, that's not going to talk politics, you know, is going to talk some numbers and some business and kind of shut them down. I don't see an opponent standing up yet. I nominate Oprah Winfrey. You know, I think she would beat him down. She has a celebrity. She's a woman of color, and she's a woman. So, you know, she already has the opinion.
To me, the only person can match him as far as flair and personality and seriousness within the political game was, oh my God, it slipped my mind just now. And I don't want to say the wrong name. Oh man, I don't want to say the wrong name, bro. I'll say it another time. But the fact is, you need somebody who's gonna match him in that same way. And you're right. I haven't seen anything. But on to the next question. Yeah. So let's say you won $1.6 billion. Somebody won that.
1.6.
They're $1.6 billion in the Mega Millions. Somebody somewhere invested money. Now, what would you do first?
Man, what would I do first? I would hide my identity. I don't want anybody to know.
Well, who you are as Shani Kulture, I mean, all of a sudden you got the winning ticket. What will Shani Kulture do?
Yeah, I try to figure out how to not let anybody know. Right. First off the bat, because, you know, money changes people, you know. Money changes the people around you even more, you know. So I would figure out, they say you got about a year to claim that money. You know, there's different ways that you can, you know, do it and claim the money. Because once you claim it, you have to come public. You have to become public unless you're in a certain...
Some people hide their face, though.
Some states you don't have to.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 or 5 states that you don't have to show your identity, which, you know, some people conspire to say that last, you know, huge jackpot was just a play to get everybody's money and nobody really won, because one of the only states where you don't have to reveal your identity is the one where somebody won, and only one person won. So they're like, really? One person got the number, and they happen to be in the state where you don't have to reveal your identity? That was a setup. That was a setup. Everybody jumped in and gave their money to get this jackpot, and then they kept all the bread and ran away and played everyone.
That's a good way of looking at it. I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like that.
It's slick. It's only like 4 states.
When you in Lotto, you're supposed to give some of that money to the Department of Education as far as New York is concerned. Because I never see. Yeah, right. Some of that money, some of the money is supposed to go to the Department of Education. Somewhere I read it, and I could be, you know, mistaken, but I heard some of the money that they get back from any winnings, the state's supposed to give it, or the city's supposed to give it, the Department of Education, something like that. But, you know.
Well, that would be great. That would be great. I don't know that to be true or false, but that sounds amazing. You know, I think the cash out, if you want the whole thing cashed out, the 1.6 was supposed to come to about 900 million. So if a portion of that is going to go towards schools, you know, I think that's great. And it's something that I would do whether it was mandatory or not. I would just have to figure out how to truly filter it into the schools and then not get lost. You know, because a lot of times you see these different ways of getting money towards damaged communities, you know, or crisis situations, and the money doesn't truly get there. You don't really see the results. So I'd have to figure out a way to really filter the money into a specific system that is going to show the results of the money I put in, that the children will benefit from it. You know, sometimes it's not giving the money on a broad scale through their system. It's maybe creating, you know, a school of your own, you know, similar to like what LeBron,
like Diddy,
James did, like Diddy did, you know, and doing it like that, where unfortunately you're not doing it on a huge scale across the nation or for a whole city, but you like, you know what, let me put it where I know it's going to create change and create scholarships for kids to be able to get into my school, and I can control, you know, the type of liberties and education that they have and they can get and receive, you know. So, yeah, I figured that out.
I remember the name. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. If you know his brother, there's a politician, there's black man, he's a politician back in the day, and my man was just killing in the 50s and 60s when and let me tell you, when you hear him talk about his speech was "What's in my hand?" and he was talking about it, it was so inspirational. Anybody that sees that, you could just YouTube it and just go Adam Clayton Powell, "What's in my hand?" It is a powerful speech that he was saying, and to me, that energy that he gave and that passion that life, to me, that's what you need now, 2018. That's what you need. But I don't. Anyway.
Yeah. No, you need that aggressive stance. You know that you're gonna be able to, you know, stand up in front of a bully. You know, you need that kid in the schoolyard who can stand up in front of the bully and, you know, not take the bully's nonsense. You know, and that'll galvanize the people to say, "Wow, yeah, we're with him." You know, we're standing behind this kid. You know, and whoever's that brave and strong and has the facts behind them would be able to take Goliath down. You know,
right.
Like I said, I've yet to see that person. Not to say that they can't surface, but you know, 2020 is right around the corner. So I'm curious to see who's going to step up to bat.
Right. I'm curious myself. Hey, you got anything? Okay.
Let's see. Not along the lines that we were having in this discussion, but I am curious. Since you have a musical background, you grew up around all these music instruments and everything, people playing them. If you could design a new genre of music, what would it be and why?
Good question.
A new genre of music. What would it be? Very interesting question. I don't know. I'm so engrossed in hip hop and Caribbean music. I feel like I would try to create a version that kind of blends the two, and even Afrobeat. You know, super Afrobeat music. Right. You know, right now, and they're getting a huge ton of exposure. You know, through their music and filtering into the United States.
Right.
I guess I would just try to create a larger avenue for that. For, you know, African artists and, you know, artists from different countries that can express themselves in their music and get that international exposure and get, you know, get widely accepted. You know, maybe something even in the steel drum. I grew up making steel pan. You familiar with that is?
Yeah, no question, no doubt.
Yeah, so, you know, we take the big oil drum, cut it up, turn it into an instrument in Trinidad. So, you know, maybe something that incorporates, you know, instruments, and expression, you know, from the street or from the ground, you know, so that you can always hear the people's perspective. So
I love it.
Right. Do you think artists lost their ability to collaborate with other art forms to keep the music fresh?
Well, I mean, everybody seems to kind of stay in their lane, you know. I don't know if they've lost the ability or never had the ability. You know, the new wave of artists, they kind of just, they don't integrate the music all the time. I commend, you know, Cardi B for her song, I Like It Like That, you know, kind of crossing genres a little bit and putting the hip-hop, you know, mixed with, you know, the Latin music and making it feel like something we all want to dance to. You know, and Drake actually did it too with the Afrobeat music when he did One Dance. You know, so I mean, actually, you know, the more I think about it, I say no. It seems like there are some artists that still are willing to venture outside of their box and incorporate different sounds in order to, you know, bring new music to the people. So that seems like something that was always there, and really creative artists, you know, tend to kind of keep that going. You know,
right. Okay. All right, we're going to get into the next song. The next song is Cherri V. I love Cherri V. She is out of London, UK. And she is just like steadily building her thing up there. And I can't wait for her to come on this side and do a performance. Her time is now. The song that she is coming with is Situationship. Situationship. All right, folks, give it a listen.
What does it matter? I'm not the only one. No. I will be waiting until you're done, then you run to me. Oh, I will be a single lady keeping score, burning and praying one day you'll smell the fragrance. Then you'll applaud me, you're faithful, baby, 'cause I let you roam, hoping someday you'd claim me. I wait for the prize and save the tears till the nighttime. When I'm alone and you're asleep, then I weep. Oh. Stuck in a situationship, I'm addicted to the pain I live. The lie that tells me if I'm patient, it will turn into a relationship. Stuck in a situationship, I'm addicted to the pain I live. The lie that tells me if I'm patient,
a GCOM exclusive,
will turn into a relationship.
Believe me, I ain't usually the jealous type, nah. But you got me over here wishing you'd see me as more than just a nice guy. 'Cause I'm the one who sends that morning text and gives you roses, tells you that you're beautiful, hoping you'd notice. I'm losing my mind when you ain't losing sleep, and I'm living for the days when you come running back to me. Saving myself, holding on for what could be, when I'm only half of what you need. Oh, I'm so
stuck in a situationship. I'm addicted to the pain I live. I'm addicted. The lie that tells me if I'm patient, it lying to myself, will turn into a relationship. Stuck in a situationship. Oh, I'm addicted to the pain I live. The lie that tells me if I'm patient, it will turn into a relationship. I wait for longer. You let me wander, doing time, it don't mean nothing. I don't know, 'cause you never let me go.
And I let you keep me on the shelf, and I keep lying to myself when I know I'll be better off on my own. Baby, I'm stuck in a situation.
I'm addicted to the pain I live.
Addicted to it.
The lie that tells me if I'm patient,
'Cause I believe the
will turn into a
lies. Just wanna
relationship.
be in a relationship.
Stuck in a situation.
Stuck in a situation.
I'm addicted to the pain I live.
Baby, I'm addicted
The lie
to
that
the
tells me
pain
if
I
I'm
live.
patient,
If
will turn into a relationship.
Stuck in a situationship.
When will you be mine?
I'm addicted to the pain I live. The lie that tells me if I'm patient,
I'm waiting.
will turn into a relationship.
I'm waiting.
Stuck in a situationship.
Situationship.
I'm addicted to the pain I live.
When will you love
The
me?
lie that tells me if I'm patient,
Oh, every day I lie.
will turn into a relationship. situationship. I'm addicted to the pain I live. The lie that tells me if I'm patient, it will turn into a relationship.
Listen up. Turn up.
You're listening to gcomradio.
We have returned. Yes, it's Cherri V, London, UK, Situationship. Well, I love her voice. Super smooth. All right.
Nice.
So yeah, we got this next question. What's your bad quality, bro?
My bad quality, too many situationships. Somebody help me.
That could be a lot of things.
Look, her song just resonated in my spirit, bro. I'm like, is she in my phone? Get out of my head.
Are you in a relationship situationship?
A relationship. I've been in too many relationship situationships, man. I try to figure out how to. I mean, on the morning show, I guess based off of life experience and being in these relationship situations, we have a segment called The Guru. And, with the Guru segment, it's Rosenberg, myself, Laura Styles, and people write in for relationship advice, and we give them advice off of being in long-term relationships. And it's something that everybody connects to. They love it because either you've been in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship or you're in a relationship or just came out of one. Everybody is connected at some point, I find that I've made some good choices and bad choices, and sometimes, you get tied up. You find yourself connecting to somebody based off of physical appearance, and it's not the whole picture. I think that's what situationships are. You kind of lock in with somebody. There's one aspect that you guys are connected in, but somebody's not all the way in, and you find yourself in a situation that's not quite a relationship. It's not somebody who wants to exalt you and put you on a pedestal and say this person is mine. You're just kind of tied up. So
you in between. That's what you're saying. You
right now? Yeah, I'm in between. I'm in between.
So how you deal with that lucky lady then? How you
How do I deal with the lucky lady? I feel like you have to really get centered with yourself to get the right person in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not completely sure of who you are, you're going to attract somebody to just fill the void of what you think you want. You know what I'm saying? So if you're if you're lonely, you're going to end up attracting somebody who's also lonely. And, you two are going to be trying to figure out how to piece this puzzle together to make yourself whole. But if you can, find comfort in yourself and be 100 with yourself and enjoy yourself and know your strengths and know who you are, and you just have a natural energy that feels good, the right person can gravitate to you, who is also moving in the same frequency as you, and you can end up finding something that creates a real harmony.
Okay, so do you think women, not just a checklist, but I love all my righteous sisters. I love them to death because they on a. I'm thinking of one in particular. She's on a straight.
But you like a freak too? That's what you're saying. That's what you're going with.
Not
like a freak.
Not so much that, but sometimes. Well, who don't? I mean, I'm on both sides.
Right.
But I think sometimes, with the righteous sisters, or just I guess women in general, like sometimes their checklist can be so strong. Like if they move out of, if a man moves out of that lane by an inch, it's like you get cut off. Do you think that women have too many checklists or too rigid, especially when they're in their early 40s and they just have this they're career driven and they just have this well, you know what? If he can't understand me like this, then no, it's done.
Yeah. I feel like I mean, if we keep it specific to gender, which I think everybody kind of has that a little bit, but I feel like the timeline of how women develop and how men develop, you know, is not equal, right? So you have this weird trick that the universe has played on us.
Right.
And, you know, where women are developed and, you know, their careers are kind of already in a certain kind of position by their late 20s. And they've already been in, you know, certain VIPs, and they've gotten certain clubs, and they've gotten, you know, maybe even taken on trips and things of that nature. By the time they're 30, you know, by the time they're like 31, 32, they're looking to find somebody who is bigger than all of that. You know, screw your VIP and your bottle, give me something with substance. Where us men are sometimes, we're trying to figure out, you know, man, how these other dudes get all the good looking women and trying to figure out our career. By the time we're 32, 33, 34, you know, we finally got our situation correct. You know, we finally maybe got our jobs correct. We're in a position where now we have some money, we have some flexibility, and now we kind of don't want to settle down, and the women who are our peers want to. So now we're looking at the girls who are maybe 26, 27, 25, who just want to have fun and get a bottle in the VIP. And the women who are 33 are like, I can't find no good men. So yeah, I think it's just a weird thing, but I think that checklist, you know, for women when they have a ton of options, because every man is trying to chase them down when they're young, starts to get smaller and smaller once they enter, you know, the early 30s, and they start to compromise, where it was like, you know, he can't have any kids, he better have this and he better have that.
Hard body.
You know, once they get in the mid-30s, and it's like, well, maybe one kid ain't so bad.
Right.
You know, maybe I could deal with that. Or it's reality. It's like, you know, he's a good dude, you know, and they start to compromise on that list, you know, and the baggage, because by the time you mid-30s, maybe late 30s, you know, everybody has some baggage with them, you know, if you've lived life. So now you have to accept people. So and if there's baggage that you don't see, believe there's baggage. It's just mental baggage, because they've already been through a relationship, they've already broken up with somebody, their heart has been broken. So if it's kids you're running from, don't necessarily run from that either, because this man may look and have the appearance of a perfect credit score, and, you know, or he's in the gym and he's never been committed, he's not been married, he's 38, wow, and he's got all of these things going for him, and he doesn't have any baggage. That man got baggage too.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes women can be so guarded and so rigid because of their past experience.
Tread lightly.
I'm just with a woman on the phone. I want to be open. LK, say what it is. Like,
speak on it, LK.
You know what I mean? A man cannot even make a mistake. He can't be just who he is. And it's like, if you don't meet those criteria, no, you get cooked. Like, you know, this one situation where the dude said something crazy, and she left the dude right in the train station, like, and that dude probably, yo, what happened? What I say? And, you know, even though he was a suspect, maybe you should say, hey, man, that wasn't correct. But I don't know. It was just, I was like, yo, really? Dudes can't make mistakes. Like, dudes.
I think men just have a different type of list than what women do, you know? And I think the roles have kind of changed, whereas younger men are now looking for that woman who has that stability and someone who already has that career and someone who can help him get on or whatever. Whereas before it was always, oh yeah, she want a sugar daddy. And now it's the younger guys are like, yeah, they want them a sugar mama. They want them a cougar. So, so I think on both ends, we have those lists. Like for men, you know, I can't speak for you, but from a woman's standpoint, what women think is that men's lists tend to be a little bit more superficial. That's what matters to you, whereas our list has a little bit more substance, maybe.
But I mean, when you say substance, you mean a man who isn't necessarily running out there in the streets. He can be a provider, you know, and he's thinking about you and all that stuff. And and a man wants a hot woman who looks good, who's a freak in the bed, you know, who has a career, you know, that can also maybe contribute to the household. You know, it seems like, and she may not necessarily need that much substance. It sounds like what you're saying, right? As long as she's attractive. Is that what you mean when you say men have a checklist of a woman that's not necessarily
superficial checklist?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, men like attractive women, you know. We're physical human beings.
Like, he's ready. He's ready to take care of her and everything. All she got to do is look good. She doesn't have to be smart. They don't have to have intellectual conversation. You know.
I mean, right. Well, I would hope so. I need some intelligence, but yeah. Men, we're physical. We're physical human beings. From the time we were born, we like to wrestle. You know, we play football, we play basketball. You know, we play fight. We're not geared in the same, you know, fashion that society pushes us with. Dolls and you know, kitchen sets and, you know, planning from a young age to get married. Where Ken is marrying Barbie and proposing is not conditioned into the things that we play. You know, we take a ball and we kick it and then try to tackle somebody from the back. So we're physical by nature, and we approach things from that perspective. So, yeah, sex, you know, and sex appeal is a huge deal. When a man is searching for a woman, you know, that's one of the first things that stand out. You know,
right.
Substance sometimes is the second thing. You know, based off of first meeting. You know.
Okay.
I believe.
It's all what we believe, and it's all to all right, so my next question is, where's your favorite place to eat?
Say that one more time.
Where is your favorite place to eat?
My favorite place to eat, there's a restaurant in
go ahead.
Brooklyn.
Yes.
Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, to be exact. It's called Jollof, one of my, you know, hidden places to eat.
Yeah.
Not exposed. And it's a Senegalese restaurant. They have a place called, they have a dish called Tibuchen, Mafachen. That's delicious. So I love to go hide out and eat there, but you know, I do events and create stuff. You know, I have an event called Jerk Mac and Cheese, so you know, it's come by that.
Say that.
You know?
Yeah. I was about to say that. I was like, is he gonna mention Jerk Mac and Cheese? Let me see.
Yeah, you knew I was gonna throw that in. Jerk Mac and Cheese. You know, yeah, that's a weekly event that I do. But yeah, I mean, that also is included with, you know, my promotions, and that's business and all this other stuff. So,
but you wouldn't promote it if it wasn't any good. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, I came to them and created the dish. You know, so they didn't have the dish prior to me being there. So look, I have an idea, and I want to see if you guys can create this dish behind this idea that I have, and I named the event Jerk Mac and Cheese.
Okay, cool.
And had to make this spicy mac and cheese, you know, with an option of either shrimp cooked up inside of it, or chicken cooked up inside of it, or, you know, vegetables or something. So, and it just kind of took off. You know, a lot of people gravitated like, is it really Jerk Mac and Cheese at this event, or are you just calling it that? And then when I tell them, nah, the food is really, it's there. You go order
I thought it was the name of the event or the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was actual food that you created out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's the Restaurant Lounge. You
know, okay. So, what's your favorite show, man? Power or Empire?
How you gonna steal my question, man?
Oh, my bad.
Power or Empire?
No center.
So he take it selfish. I tell you, it's selfish.
Oh man! All right, cool.
Man, I mean, for me, to be honest, I hardly get an opportunity to watch TV that much. So I'm gonna say neither. I sometimes watch documentaries. You know what I'm saying? You might catch me flipping channels and watching Ancient Aliens or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Or you know, I mess around, flip the channels, and be watching House Hunters. You know what I'm saying? On HGTV. Just to see what's going on out here and how you build a house. You know. That's kind of where I'm at. So I have not gotten a chance to fully get into the episode. Everybody tells me, look, get into Power. From what I hear, Power's the one to do. I know. Power seems the one. And I've caught a few episodes here and there, but I've not been on top of the series like, hey, I wonder what happens next. I definitely saw the scenes with Naturi naked and Lala naked. I saw that.
Look at you.
So, you know what? My vote is with Power now that I think about it. I'm going to go with Power.
You going to go ahead and roll with that?
I'm going to roll with Power. Matter of fact, I might start watching the name. Start from the first season. Let's go.
Along with 700,000 other guys. Yes.
Yeah. Nah. 50 Cent has done the damn thing with that show. And, Stars wasn't on people's map like that. That network Stars, and he's brought them a ton of money.
They was hating on him. Stars owned him.
Yeah, man.
It was giving them no love, and he like cut it off. And to me, I was like, "What's on freaking Stars?" And after Power's finished, I turned it off. But now they gave him a good deal. After that, and now you got a couple more shows to see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people are like, "Look, watch Power, man. It's good." So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna watch it. But we had.
Speaking of that, what was the last thing you watched in a while?
The last thing I watched in a while. In terms of a series?
Anything. And why'd you get into it?
And this was a while ago, because I run so much, I haven't been able to get into it. But when I was watching Breaking Bad some years back, that show was amazing to me. I don't know, something about the way they situated that show. Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah, I saw the first
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
For the first episode, it kind of just draws you in, and the way they cut it up, where at the end of every episode, you couldn't wait to see what was going to happen on the next, episode, because you had to see where this was going to go. It just was an interesting dynamic, of a regular person who was, life got turned upside down by being diagnosed with cancer, so it was a very interesting take. I watched the Night Of. I think that was a series 2 on Netflix. You familiar with the Night Of?
No.
I don't know about you. Yeah, a young immigrant who got caught up, just trying to make a living for himself, and got pushed into a weird scenario, and then everything goes back to the Night Of and things like that. So, I've always been into suspense. Anything that can create a little bit of suspense and make me think in terms of where is this going, I'm into it.
Okay. Okay, you got anything?
He said he's into suspense. So my next question, he may be like, but Tyler Perry was on The View today, promoting his new movie, and Whoopi Goldberg is in that movie. And so they were asking questions, and they asked if him and Whoopi were, thinking about doing some other things together. And he mentioned that they were in talks to do a Sister Act 3. I don't know if you ever saw Sister Act 1 and 2. But what do you think about that? Do you think that will be a good collabo between him and her doing a Sister Act 3? Do you think we need a Sister Act 3?
I don't think we need it, but I think, if Tyler Perry's behind it, it's going to make a ton of money and it's going to be creative. Sister Act 2 was so long ago. It had to be like 15, 20 years ago. To bring this back up from the ground, you got to put a nice twist on it. Because by the time you start to get into these movie series of like 2, 3, 4, and 5, you really have to reinvent it in a way that's going to be special. So hopefully if he puts his hands on it, he gets the right stars involved, which he does have the power to do that.
Tiffany Haddish. Right.
Yeah, well, she's on fire right now.
Right.
Actually, she came to the morning show the other day, said she's single, looking to mingle. I tried to shoot my shot. I was like,
did you shoot your shot? Did you score? Was it water? Number water?
Yeah, I said, hey, what you need? What you need, mama? She says she's 38 and she's out here, so she's on fire right now. and she's doing her thing. So I think if she's involved in it, and Tyler Perry really, puts his brain behind it, this could be a very entertaining movie. And we love to see ourselves on the screen, so we'll be out there supporting.
Maybe Netflix. I mean, it could be put out on Netflix. It'd do well, even on the Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer to go check a movie if I can. I want to eat some popcorn,
Yeah, I'm like, Tyler Perry is going to be big. It's gonna go further than Netflix.
Yeah. I hate some popcorn.
You're talking about somebody with an EGOT.
Right.
right. EGOT. Right. That's right. I hear you. All right, man. It's been a pleasure. We're gonna roll out of here with the last song. And I know you had the last song, LK, but I promised this dude that he would be on the show, and I forgot. And his name is Varcity. All right, his Varcity, and his song was Elevate. And I want to give him some shine because, he hit us up. So listen to this, brother. Elevate, Varcity, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot where this dude's from. And I did that before. I did this last episode. But that's what happened.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. Yo, I gotta hold my head up. Like Martin when he got beat up in the Martin show. I gotta hold that head up. We're gonna get into Varsity, man. Elevate. My brother, we appreciate you coming on the show, taking the time out.
Thank you, man.
And just speaking about yourself. A lot of people probably didn't know who you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys too. Make sure y'all stay on the lookout for the mix up. That'll be coming soon. You'll be able to catch that on hot97.com at first, and then you'll see it at a network near you. Just creating platforms to get us more exposure and show people the world through our eyes. So we'll be traveling the world and putting y'all on, man.
That's what's up. All right. So we out.
All right, LK.
Thanks for listening.
All right, man.
We appreciate y'all. And listen up.
Yeah, so you just heard us in the phone zone with Shani Kulture. It was a great show. We just want to thank this brother again for taking the time out to talk to us for this interview. And yeah, I got the song wrong, so my apologies, y'all. It's just we have a few artists that are mixing up the music. So we are going to listen to Varcity. His song is Supplier. The brother's from New Haven, Connecticut. We appreciate everyone that was listening to the show on all our platforms. Everybody, please check out Lyfeblood.com. GCOM Radio is that mouthpiece for Lyfeblood and getting into music and talking about various subjects, but it's about creating that community where we can also build a group economics think tank and just a network around the globe. So I like to thank LK Mason as well. I got much love for my girl co-hosting the show, and we appreciate you guys listening. So we out of here, and see you on the next go round. Peace.
For those who don't know my name, they call me.
It's WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio.
Oh yeah.
Crushing through those speakers and headphones.
It's on.
Girl, let's make a movie. I'll be your provider. Say you want that real shit. I'm gonna take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to the fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Say you want that real shit. I'm gonna take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to that fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Alright. You tell me I'm really stressed. It's probably the mood that you got me in. You put it down to nothing less. But I ain't talking about the sex. I'm probably talking about the sex. Well, fuck it, you know that it's yours. I'm trying to get right on them walls. floor. Some legs on the ceiling, it's nothing like ever before. Breaking it down. She probably get wet to the sound. She know it's on when I'm around. I flip it over like I'm poster. Bend you back just like a poster. Meanwhile, I be chillin'. You be all in your feelings. An ounce of love in this bag compared to sexual healing. Oh, I'll be your provider. Say you want that real shit. I'm gon' take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to the fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Say you want that real shit. I'm gon' take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to that fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Girl, let's make a movie. I'll be your provider. Say you want that real shit. I'm gon' take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to the fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Say you want that real shit. I'm gon' take it higher. Acting like you know me. More flame to that fire. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. You gon' take this deal, shorty. I'll be your supplier. Girl, let's ride. I'll be your provider. Girl, let's make a movie.
It's WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community. On the next go round, from right here to your time.
Y'all already know.
We out.